Okay, today I'm going to open a 1971 Topps First Series rack pack. These are pretty rare. Most of the ones you see for sale have a regular Topps card for the header card, so to find one with the actual trading card header is pretty rare. And there's some question on the authenticity of a lot of the rack packs that have the header card. That's a regular Topps card as opposed to the yellow header card. I normally don't open these vintage packs, but this one has a little bit of a split forming here. So rather than leaving it unopened, I'm going to go ahead and open it and see what's inside. The first series is pretty loaded with stars. There's Pete Rose, there's Reggie Jackson in the first series, a couple of good rookie cards of Bert Blyleven and Dave Concepcion. There's the Orioles team leader or team card. That's the first card in the set. Then the league leader cards, and there's a few low pop commons as well, like Dick Bosman, that are tough to find in high grade. So the pack is in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of splitting happening between the pockets as well. And as I mentioned, the split here, but the cards should be in really good shape. The main question with these years is always the centering. So if the cards are well centered, it could be a pretty good score inside there. I've got a few others that will be staying closed. This is one with Thurman Munson showing on the top. That's his second card that was issued of his, and that's showing on top. I've got another pack that's in really good shape that'll stay closed. That's all commons, so there's no stars showing on this pack, but the pack's in nice shape. And then I've got this pack here as well, which has the Bert Blyleven rookie card showing on the back, and again that will stay sealed as well. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and open this up and see what's in here. Try to do this without damaging any of the cards. Okay, first pocket is open. Let me zoom in a little bit to show it a little bit better here as I go through the cards. On the top is Ken Singleton. I'm going to go ahead and cut it on three sides just to make sure. These cards are very fragile with the black borders, so I need to make sure I don't chip any of the borders when I'm pulling it out of the plastic, because that defeats the whole purpose of having a high grade pack that we're opening. I think this will just lift up now. Okay, we'll get that line back up again. Okay, the first card, as I said, was Ken Singleton. Second card is Don Hahn. This one's a little bit off-centered. Oh, there's another Thurman Munson, but again, the centering is not ideal. It's cut very much like the other one that's showing on the front of the other pack. So this is Thurman Munson. Still a nice card. It's mint, but miscut. Next is Bill Melton. Again, a little bit off-centered. Should get a handful of centered cards in this pack. There's a decently centered one, centered a little bit to the top. This is Von Joshua from the Dodgers. And Eddie Watt, this is again a very nicely centered card. This one has a shot at a 9. It's a little bit off-centered left to right, so it might be an 8. And Don Money. Again, off-centered left to right. Fred Wentz, this is a fairly tough common. Again, this one's off-centered. And then Casey Cox, again off-centered left to right. Then Mike McQueen, this one's better centered, although a little bit off-centered top to bottom, but really nice corners. Definitely mint condition-wise. No chipping. That one's probably an 8 because of centering. And we got Doc Ellis. Again, very nicely centered. Just a tad off, but probably I'll have to measure it, but it's probably good enough for a 9. Andy Messersmith, this is another tough card. I sold a 9 of this card for about $600 recently, but this one's a little bit off-centered. And Phil Roof. Again, a little off-centered. Topps wasn't too interested in quality control back then, in those days, not like today. And we've got the first series checklist that's off-centered. And then we've got a Mark Belanger that looks nicely centered. This one is definitely, it looks like within 9 guidelines. And then there's an Eddie Casco, a little bit off-centered, but probably within 8 guideline. And a Phil Necro that looks very nice, so a Hall of Famer, but again centering is a little bit off because of tilt at the bottom. And a friend of mine on the PSA forums predicted that I would get that card based on this uncut sheet sequence, so he was right on that one. And then the Sandy Vance, again off-centered. So that's the first pocket. I'll stop the recording and then post a different video of the second pocket so I can fit these all on YouTube within 10-minute time duration. So the next pocket soon to come.